Welcome to a short market update, as past Thursday has been a big day for the markets. We've got GDP kicking in, GDP price, which is an inflation target, dropping heavily. We've got Amazon and Apple, in which both have been correcting, especially Amazon has been losing a ton of value, and we got the ECB. So we are going to check the charts to see what the markets are bringing, as Bitcoin is also consolidating and correcting. But before we can continue, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and also check out our premium membership giveaway of 1 month if you sign up through our affiliate link with Bybit. Now, the markets yesterday have been volatile. We have been seeing a pretty nice run of Bitcoin going towards almost 21k. However, now we are correcting as Amazon dropped an astonishing 20% after markets as they missed their earnings. So what are we expecting from this thesis, and why are we looking for longs for Bitcoin? Let's jump into the charts. So when we are talking about numbers, we are talking about Amazon and Apple, which came in yesterday after market, and especially Amazon was breaking records because of the miss that they have with the revenue. They also had the miss of the EPS, which I posted differently. They had 22 cents on 28 cents. So that is way lower than expected, and also their future outlook wasn't that positive, resulting into Amazon dropping 20%. Resulting into the markets of Bitcoin also correcting, as the Nasdaq was falling off a cliff by approximately 4% yesterday. Now, we do have almost all numbers in. With tech, we also had Apple coming in yesterday, but Microsoft is down a lot while they actually had beating numbers. Google's down a lot. Meta even crashed with 25%. Amazon has been losing value by 20%. And then we've got the numbers of Apple, which were beating. However, especially on the iPhone side of the deal, they were losing, or they are just not having the same strength as what we expect from them, and therefore we've seen also Apple falling down, and that resulted into Bitcoin correcting. We have been mentioning the level around 20.8k as a very important trigger to watch, and we said, okay, if that is going to fight as a resistance, and we look at lower time frames, we technically have to hold the area around 20.5 to avoid a drop down and to avoid a squeeze or a drop beneath the lows here around 20k, which I technically mark as a very important level for longing. Now, when we're looking at Amazon stock, we can see that the Amazon stock has been falling from a cliff. Right now it's around 90, so it's down from 110 to 90, and probably it's going to bounce when the markets are going to open, because it is one of the sharpest falls we've had in one day for the actual stock, which means that most likely it's going to take some bounce from here. At least it's down 50% already since the all-time high, and starts to look like a standard altcoin, to be quite honest at this point. DXY has been bouncing, therefore we are seeing some strength on the DXY as Bitcoin is showing weakness. We discussed this yesterday as well. Most likely the DXY is getting resistance around 111 or 112, depending on PCE data, which is coming in relatively soon after posting this video on the socials within 1.5 hours. So most likely that will give a guideline of where the markets are going to go to. When we look at Bitcoin price action, we are getting into the territory that you want to look for long. So you clearly want to look for the area around 20k, which is pretty much the block here, which is pretty much these previous highs. Those two zones are the zones that you want to look at for longs, especially the one that we have at 19.9 to 20k is my first go-to zone. So I would be filling some longs here already. If we do lose, we are going to get it from 19.6, but then you're probably just having a very slight bounce towards 20.3 to 20.4 to avoid or most likely going to get further downwards correction. So I think that we really need to wait until 19.9, or we need to hold in this area between 19.9 to 20.1, and now we are having a slight bounce. So this is good, and if we do, next week we're probably going to have a breaker or Bitcoin to the upside, but we have been saying that you should not be rushing into positions in the past few videos, as 20.7 to 20.9 was a resistance zone. We've seen that, and right now we get the opportunity to actually fill ourselves into longs. Same goes for Ether. getting into bounce territory here, most likely going to have some. If we do lose this entire area, I'm looking at longs around 1400 for this one. So definitely most likely going to look good for the markets to bounce from here, but corrections do happen. I hope you have been enjoying this small market update. Later today I'll be going into altcoins that I'm watching at this point. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button, and I'll see you again later today.